Alright, welcome to Simply Bass, where I try to keep bass playing simple. So I want to talk about triads today. Triads are just three notes that are played simultaneously. You're going to play one note after the other, as an arpeggio. All arpeggio means, it means broken chord. You're not going to play a full chord, you're going to play pieces of the chord. For an example, a triad would be, if you look at the C major scale, you have a 1, a 3, and a 5. That's considered a triad. But it doesn't have to just be the 1, the 3, and the 5. It could be the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 6. It's just three notes played simultaneously. For an example, if you go down to the third fret of your A string, that's your C. You're going to go to the second fret of the D, that's your E, and your G is the fifth on the D. That's your triad. Now, when you get to the G, the last note of that triad, you can think of that as your new root. So you can string another set of notes after this. Now, for an example, you're here on the fifth. Now you can start thinking, G's fifth is D, and it's really easy to get to. The fifth of any root note is easy to get to because it's always one string down, 2 frets up. I got a video on that if you want to check that out. So what I would do is just make it a power chord. Stuff like that, you know. You can get really creative with it. You don't have to just play one note. You could play, you could do power chords. Power chords in the bass are really, really effective. You just got to know where to place them. Now, so when you do, see, that's how you navigate all over your fretboard, right? This is your map. This is your road that tells you where to go. And when you know your triads, now when you're noodling around, you know where to go next. Because, oh, here's my root. Now this is my last one. This is my root. There's the fifth. And it wouldn't even have to go to the fifth, right? You could have G as your last one. I mean, you could go G, go to the A. Kind of noodle around that way, back and forth. I mean, if you get to the root note, you don't have to necessarily, you could go back to where you were. Go backwards. You can just go backwards from where you were and start a new triad. It doesn't have to be the same 1, 3, 5. You go 1, and then back. Now you can start a whole new triad. Now, it sounds like I'm playing a lot more notes in 3, but I'm stringing them together. See, you just string these notes, these scales. See how these scales, they all kind of go together. This is a good example of it, right? You get here to your G, A, B. Well, if you look at your G major scale, C's fifth is G. You look at the G major scale, the first notes, G, A, B, C, G, A, B, C, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, D, E, F. They're just rearranged in a different order. They're rearranged backwards. See, G and C, it's rearranged backwards, right? So once you start looking at your scales and learning the patterns, then you can start navigating all over the fretboard to create your own bass lines, improvised bass lines to songs that, are already, you're trying to cover. That's how you get around in your fretboard. You just keep plugging away, putting down learning these different triads and stringing them together, and you'll be creating all kinds of awesome bass lines. That's really, really all there is to it. Hope this was helpful. If you like these videos or found it interesting, hit like, subscribe. Just let me know somebody's watching. I'm just trying to help out beginner bass players become bass players. When I started out, I learned from guitar players. I didn't have a bass teacher. This was 1988, 89. Started playing in cover bands. Everybody played guitar. everybody was an electric guitar player. You know, nobody played bass. There was a couple drummers in my area, but it's just me. We're in a small town, and I picked up the bass just so that, you know, now we can start forming a band within our group of friends. You know, we had like 5 guitar players, a bass player, and a drummer. You know, none of us could sing. So, you know, hey, hit like, subscribe, and comment below, and, you know, I'll get some more of these videos out for you in the future. Thanks for watching.